Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Gene, the founder of the GoGetter family, here with you on this beautiful Sunday evening. I've got a guest tonight, Johnny Lynum of Operation Invest. Now, you guys know that this channel, my mission, man, in life is to bring you guys the actionable information and knowledge that you need to close real estate transactions, real estate investing transactions, and primarily close them with no money out of your own pocket. All right. So tonight, I got Johnny on here because he and I hooked up and closed or got a deal under contract together. Went through a chain of dominoes, and so we're going to be talking to you guys about that deal tonight, and we're going to also be giving you guys the three pillars of how you get started in real estate and give yourself the best chance at being successful. So, Johnny, thanks for joining me tonight, man, on this Sunday. We definitely appreciate having you on the show, man.
Most definitely, brother. Glad to be here tonight, man, to bless the audience and kind of, talk through the three pillars to get started. And then this deal, man, that we're able to get locked up this week.
Yeah, it was definitely a good deal. And we got it locked up for no credit checks and a little bit of money out of pocket, like a little bit, maybe $4,000-$5,000, close to something like that. So, but Johnny, tell the viewers a little bit about yourself, man, because you got a lot going on. You're still in the Air Force full time and doing a few other things with investing and got a book. So talk to us a little bit, man, about who you are.
Yeah, man. Johnny Lynum coming by way of Alabama, grew up there, Southern boy, and married, got a beautiful wife, 3 kids, in the Northern Virginia area, and been serving in the Air Force for about 16 and a half years now. Been investing in real estate for about 15 years of that time frame. And, just over the few years that we started fixing and flipping and kind of getting more active and building a side business. I run my business with about 10 hours a week put into the business. But now last couple of years, man, we've been blessed to scale up to do multiple 6 figures. And now this whole last year, we relocated to the Virginia area and we've been working everything virtually. Last year, wrote my first book, Millionaire Real Estate Success Strategies, what they forgot to teach you in school. It just captured my life journey and then others in my network, other millionaire investors and how they built their wealth up leveraging real estate, man. And now, just bringing that all full circle with being able to impact other people through teaching it and giving back and just showing people how they can level up and continue to be the best CEO of their last name.
Yeah, right on, man. So you teaching people how you've been successful on that ziggly-zaggly journey, man. That's what real estate investing is. You got to be ready for a journey that's got some twists and turns in it. So, guys, I want to, me, I like to dive right in, right? So people ask me, I actually put up a post in YouTube asking people, what they wanted to learn the most in real estate. Was it negotiating? Was it contracts? Was it how to find these deals? Or was it how to get started? And overwhelmingly, 54% of the people pick how to get started in real estate, right? Because 95% of real estate investors fail. 95%. That is an astronomical number. When I first heard it, I had to go look it up. I was like, man, but I heard it from somebody who, I respect. So I believed them at the time. But I was like, man, I just got to see this. And lo and behold, it was true. It was true. So the first tip that I feel is absolutely necessary, right, in being successful in real estate. People say how to find deals, right? People say how to find, but I'm going to go a little bit deeper. And I'm going to say to know the indicators of a good deal. Yeah. Know the indicators of a good deal. And to me, knowing the indicators are, things like the circumstances. You want to know the circumstances. So are these people in foreclosure, pre-foreclosure? Did they move out of state? Do they have 2 mortgages, right? Or is it a list of divorced homeowners? So we're narrowing down, but we have a circumstance, a motivation. When you can identify those indicators, you can always find a deal. And that's the number one thing. You got to have a house if you're going to be a real estate investor. You got to have a house. So, Johnny, how do you feel about tip 1, man? Knowing how to feel the indicators.
Spot on, man. That's it. You got to be able to find motivated sellers and figure out what their pain point is on why they want to sell their real estate at a discount. You make money in real estate when you buy. And you got to buy at a low price, whereas that you can add value, you can have equity, and then you can continue to hold to get that passive income, or You can assign it to a real estate investor, get a good, nice size check, do it again, and start building up your portfolio over time, man. But yeah, spot on. And it's so much stuff. The only thing that you lack in deal flow is creativity. You can be creative. You can figure out a way to find people who can use your service that need your help.
Right. And you said it, man. It's a service. It's a service. So this is the thing. If people go out, that's why that number is so high. It's 95%, because people will go out thinking that they can get into real estate investing and then just jump on Zillow and call for sale by owners or see what houses are listed by a realtor. And I mean, that is not the way, guys. That isn't even close to the way of being successful or of how you find a deal in real estate. And a lot of people, they just don't know better, which is understandable. But this is why we're giving you guys this game. You got to know the indicators. So let's say, for example, right, you go on to Zillow because you don't know any better, right? I got my first deal off of Zillow, and it was kind of luck, but I knew some indicators. Because when I looked that deal up on PropStream, I had PropStream before I had my first deal. When I looked it up on PropStream, I saw that they didn't have any equity, and I was going to do subject to take over that debt. So that was an indicator to me, like, well, wait, this is a beautiful house. They've owned it for only a year and a half, so they don't have any equity. So they got to be having a problem if they're selling after a year and a half. It isn't like an investment type of situation where they fixed and flipped, because I saw how much they bought it for, or that the previous owner had sold it for or bought it for. So there wasn't much in the spread there, and that was an indicator of a good deal. And if you're on Zillow, guys, houses that have been on the market for 60 days or more, right? They can't sell, and like Johnny said, man, you got to find these deeply discounted properties, So Johnny, give us a way that you know how to find these discounted properties, man.
Yeah, most definitely, Jeannie. And I think for people starting off, the majority of people, whereas that they want to know how they can do it without money. And you got to be able, even if you the Zillow approach, jump in there, but you got to be able to take action. I tell people, like, hey, if you're gonna be in there, if you get on there and get fast, success loves speed. If you get the listing as soon as it comes out there and you talk to the agent, you can lock it up, you can do it. But if not, you got to dig in, go to the courthouse, go on in, getting that free data, that you can access divorce records, probate records, pre-foreclosure records, all those distressed people that are looking to have life challenges, and they probably own a piece of real estate that you can come in and help and just provide that value to them, man. Yeah. And just going in, and I'll tell you, for the other people, with that entry barrier with money, that these people, they ain't never asked me for a proof of funds letter. When you walk in their house and you solving their problem, like, well, I need to see your proof of funds letter that you can actually help me. They ain't asking for that stuff, man.
That ain't gonna happen. Yeah, it's not gonna happen, man. I've never been asked for proof of funds, never, man. But we go in there, but that's because we're looking for a problem before we even make contact with the person, And I'm gonna tell a quick story. I knew about this before I even got into creative financing and subject to, because I was trying to find deeply discounted properties when I was doing fix and flips, right? So this is how far I went, man. I was looking in my partner's city. He lives about an hour and a half away. And I was looking in those legal sections in their newspaper to find foreclosures and pre-foreclosures. So because, we had to find a good deal we could add value to, and it had to be low enough for us to borrow money from the bank. That's what we were thinking, right? And I wanted to make some money. Not only did I want to start making more than minimum wage for the hours that I was putting in for borrowing money from the bank doing these fix and flips, because that's how I was averaging less than minimum wage that way. But I wanted to make enough money, man, to buy my family something nice, finally, because I've been putting in all these hours, all this time. So I found a pre-foreclosure, and turns out we found out, man, the guy had passed away. Passed away, man. It was past probate too. I even tracked down his ex-wife, found out they were divorced. I'm doing research, man. Found out they were divorced, did some research on her, and I found out that she worked at a bank. Right. So I called her work, man, because I'm like, I want this house, and that's the thing, guys. You got to, like Johnny said, you got to dive in there and go take action. We ended up losing that deal because of the banks, not wanting to lend us the money. We ended up losing that deal, but that's how far you got to go. You got to be willing to put in that work, man. And I called her. I was talking to her, and it was a tough conversation. I mean, she was divorced from the guy. Then he had passed away. They had 2 daughters. So I'm telling her, like, I don't want you to go back and rehash these bad memories. Well, I don't want you to have to do that. I want you to be able to move forward in life. right? Move forward. You know, you're remarried now. You've started a new chapter in life. But wouldn't it be nice if you had a trust fund set up for your two daughters? So when they turn 18, they had some, and you don't even have to think about that. You don't even have to think about it. You're on to your new life. We've got to take them into consideration, guys. So she was moving forward with me. I brought her over to my side, but I had what she wanted on the front of her mind, right? I had what she wanted on the front of her mind. So again, I ended up losing that deal, but it was great practice. You know, it was great practice. And Johnny, I want to talk to you about tip number 2. I want you to kick it, you know, give us tip number 2. Initially, we're talking about you got to figure out your acquisition strategy. So I'm gonna let Johnny dig in a little deeper on that one.
Yeah, most definitely, brother. I think going into it, like after you find the distress and you found a deal, now how do you dig in on the acquisition side of it with actually acquiring it? And it comes down to the creativity that you have and the tools that you have and the toolkit. You know, like you already talked about, for being able to come in with the subject to approach. You got your contracts, you can come in, you can take the debt over that they have already on the property. You don't have to qualify with your credit for the deal. You can come into the deal with very little to maybe no money at all to get the deal under contract, or you can look at fixing and flipping it, whereas that you can take it over, and there's no reason you can take it actually subject to and still fix and flip. They come in and bring the renovation money to the deal, fix it up, then sell it to an investor. Or you can keep it yourself, or you can buy it and just retail it and sell it after you renovate it. Or maybe you just want to wholesale it. You got the deal, it's a great deal. You're not really looking, or you may lack confidence. You may have a limited belief. We'll get past that later. If you still got the limited belief, you can't fix and flip or renovate the house. But they can just take the house and just move it off to an investor like myself and say, hey, here's a great deal. Pay me $10,000. I'll sign my rights to the contract. I'll take my $10,000 assignment. You take the deal. You make your money, do your renovation, and I'm on to my next deal. I'm gonna put that money in my marketing to get more deals, and then I'll come back with some more. Then maybe we can partner up on something. So you got different strategies, or you can just you can take over the debt and move somebody in and just keep it as a rental property if it doesn't even need a whole lot of work. So the acquisition piece of it, you got multiple ways that you can come in and take the deal down, and then from there to level up whatever your goals are, whether you want to keep it or whether you want to go through, and then we'll talk about the exit strategy. But just to get it, you got multiple tools that where you can come in and take it down, regardless of your credit history, regardless of the capital that you have at your disposal right now, that you can actually get the deal done.
Yeah. And see, that's the thing. So tip 1, right, of how to start, it is knowing the indicators of a deal, right? Knowing the indicators of a deal, how to find it, but the indicators. So then once you know those indicators, they're distressed. Now we have to have acquisition strategy. So how are we going to get control of this now? And one of my mentors, man, Chris Haskins, a heavyweight, he says, own nothing but control everything. Own nothing but control everything. And you don't have to have money to get control of a property, right? To get it under contract. You don't have to have money, man. My apprentice, my 18-year-old apprentice, he got a deal and he wholesaled that deal, but he got control of that deal by only putting down $500 deposit, $500 EMD, earnest money deposit. And I was almost upset with that now. I was like, man, you don't even have to do that. But so he put down the $500 earnest money deposit, and then he paid like $150 and some change for a title search. Okay. Right. So that was $650 right there. And then after he got in touch with me, because he couldn't find a buyer, didn't know what to do, I got my cash buyer. We replaced that earnest money deposit. Okay. But that'll get you control. That will get you control, and you've got it under contract. And then that's when you can go and start networking and relationship building. You call a person like me, and hey, man, I got this deal under contract. I'm not sure what to do with it, but it's under contract. So you got control. So now I can work with it because I'm not out there trying to get control of it. Or you call Johnny, you got control. So Johnny, he can work with it, right? He doesn't have to go out there and, and do everything. You've already done that half. So you get control, guys. So you don't need money. Just get control and bring that value, right? But I do want to say this. I always recommend knowing at least more than one acquisition strategy. More than one, right? So we've got like the GoGetter family, we've got the wholesale and hold method, right? And then you can just wholesale it. So that's 2 right there. That gives you 2 ways that you can get a property. you know. And then the third tip, this is the top thing. Now, this is how you can get started. This is how, so, but we're giving you the game now. Know the indicators of a deal so you can find a deal. So you know those indicators, you know where to look. And it makes it easier. You're not doing what everybody else is doing. And then have an acquisition strategy. How are you going to get it, acquire it? And then the third thing, the third tip, man, the third pillar of being successful and being that 5% instead of the 95% that failed is knowing your exit strategies. Knowing your exit strategies. How are you going to make your money? How are you going to help this person too? Right? That's too, because an exit strategy, you're helping this person because you can't acquire it without, you know, having that exit strategy, or you're going to end up like a lot of wholesalers, which is why wholesaling has a bad name. You get these houses under contract, you make people a promise, and they're planning on whatever it is you promised them, making plans for their future, and then you don't close on the deal, you fall through. And that's almost what happened with this deal we're going to talk to you about. But knowing that exit strategy, you know, talk to me, Johnny, because when I called you about this one, we're going to talk about, that's kind of the first thing you was thinking on was the exit strategy, right? I like that. So talk about them.
Yeah, man, you got to always start with the end in mind. You know, you got to know where you want to end up with the deal and kind of going from there. And I'll tell people it's so important. You know, however you're acquiring it, you got to know what it's going to cost to fix it. If you're going to present it to an investor, you got to know what it's going to cost to fix it. If you're going to fix and flip it on your exit strategy, you got to know what it's costing to fix it, because that allows you to know how much you can pay. Because to make money in real estate, you make money on the front end when you buy. And to know what price you're going to have to pay to buy it, to make it a good deal, you got to know how much it's going to be to maybe bring it up to retail to fix it up. Right. You know, so that's the thing that I think on the exit strategy that a lot of people take for granted is just the renovation cost. Because I've got some deals that brought to me like, man, you're 20,000 off on your numbers on what it's going to cost me as an investor. So I can't pay your price that you're looking for. And now it's an uncomfortable conversation when you have to go back and renegotiate the price with the seller. But I think, you know, on the exit strategy, you just got to be creative and know, hey, what's your goals? You know, hey, I want to have $3,000 of passive income in the next 5 years. Okay, what does that look like? I need to start keeping some of these houses instead of wholesaling. Or I want to create a 6-figure business from wholesaling. I want to average $10,000 a property. So now I got to wholesale 10 properties. Or I want to do subject to deals. I want to add these to my portfolio, do 2 or 3 of these deals a year. So you just kind of figure out the exit strategy that you want. And then now it gives you the freedom to operate on the front end with how you're going to acquire the deal and just kind of think through it. And now when you have an exit strategy, you know what your long-term goals are. Now you're everything just kind of flows. You're working on purpose. You're doing these deals, and they're all leading up to where you want to be 5 years from now. And then 5 years from now, you've been taking so much action, and boom, you actually accomplish what you set out to do because you've been living on purpose.
Man, woo! Hey, Johnny just gave y'all all types of game right there. Listen, now if y'all watching, watch this video again and rewind that part. I'm gonna dig into it a little bit. I'm gonna unpack it for y'all because Johnny high level now. I'm gonna unpack it, get them nuances up out of there. But for everybody that's just tuning in, man, I do appreciate you guys watching, showing up tonight. And don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. I'm here with Johnny Lynum from Operation Invest out of Northern Virginia. He does a lot of virtual fix and flips, multifamily. Johnny's been in the game for 15 years. He's an author. And he has a portfolio of around $5 million in real estate, man. So he's hey now, John, that ain't no small chump change, y'all. And I'm Gene Boykin. I'm the founder of the GoGetter family, and I talked to you guys about, you know, subject to creative financing and our new method, the wholesale and hold. I was able to get a portfolio of around 780,000, but that was in less than a year. Nice. And without, using any credit or having to spend a large sum of money out of my own pocket. So that's the game that I'm giving you guys. And tonight we're talking about how to get started in real estate successfully. All right. So I want to unpack what Johnny said right there a little bit though, because guys, it's synergy. It's full circle. So if you know your exit strategies, right, how you can get rid of this property, you'll know how to acquire on the front end. And then you'll also know what you're looking for, right? Those indicators of a deal. If you know your exit strategy, which is number 3 in the pillars, that's going to help you with the first 2. So that's why I always say these are ingredients in a recipe, like the GoGetter family's 7 steps to becoming the bank. This is about 2.5 of those steps right here, you know, and knowing these, It's going to give you that success. But secondly, what Johnny said too was understand what those repair costs are going to be, right? Whether it's for you or, for the person that you're going to assign the deal to, whatever it is, you don't want to go in there and just tell them you got a house, right? You got a house and you got it under contract. And your buyer says, well, how much are the repair costs? And you're like, well, I had heard, well, it might be because they needed a toilet and a sink. You made it like, man, you brought me a deal, man. I'm out here, doing the same thing that you was doing, but a little more precise. So if you're going to bring me a deal, have everything in order. That's why this deal that we're going to talk about here in a couple minutes, man, we were actually able to get this thing under control and under contract in a week. But the guy brought it. The guy came. He was working on it for a year, but he had everything, man. He had everything, man, everything down to the code violations and everything. So what Johnny said there, man, that will help you on your front end and on the back end too, on that exit strategy, those repair costs, and try to be accurate, and know what your ARV is, or know what people like at least. So that's on figuring out those exit strategies. Have at least more than one too that you know something about. Right?
Yes.
So, man, this deal. Let's get into this deal. Now, y'all. First off, 95% of real estate investors fail, and that number doesn't have to be like that either. No. It doesn't. There are people out here like myself and Johnny, man, who have been through the storm, been through the fire, that will help you guys. As long as you guys come through righteously. I guess there is no other way to say it. You come through righteous, then we got to mess with you. See, that's what I do, because I'm from the mud, man. I'm from the mud. I grew up poor. I force them to have to mess with me. Like, they got no other choice. They like, man, this is too good.
Right.
Too sweet. I got to do it, But I do that by, man, being detail oriented, having as much information and much research done as possible, on a deal, so that I'm bringing that value, man, and they know, like, any other direction, it just won't add up.
Yeah. Because Gene, this stuff we're talking about, man, is not rocket science. It's not. We're using fifth grade math. It's not rocket science at all.
Yeah, that's true, man. And that's the thing. People's limiting beliefs. Like, man, this is hard. Figuring out the ARV or running comps and stuff like that. It's hard. So then when you sit there and think that it's hard, that it's going to be super hard for you. When it's not, guys, it really is just simple logic. It is. I had a guy on the IG the other night that me and Johnny did, and he was like, he went to look for that red tag list, and where he was at didn't have a red tag. They didn't have an inspections department, but he kept going to the next, and then to the next, and to the next, until he got what he was looking for, right? But he made those logical moves. So this is how this deal started. A lot of people get into thinking real estate is going to be easy. So identifying a deal, the indicators of a deal, right? This is perfect for how to get started, man, these 3 pillars. So this guy, he knew he wanted to get into real estate, but he was driving around and he saw this house had a for sale sign in it, but it looked like it was under in distress a little bit, little overgrown grass, stuff like that. So he was like, man, I'm going to give them a call. So I always say, anytime I'm driving for dollars now.
Yep.
It don't even matter. Yeah. I don't know about you, Johnny. You always driving for dollars?
That's it, man. Is it?
Yeah. Like, you got to be. If you're into real estate, you're driving for dollars. You're looking for that overgrown grass, piled up mail, things like that, unkept, right? So he finds this deal and he gives them a call. But his thing was this. See, this is where I believe he messed up. He only had one strategy, right? Which was the wholesale. And then he was hoping maybe his credit was all good enough to get a loan if he needed it. So he was just thinking of wholesale the whole time. So now you're boxed in. But then his other mistake was this. He didn't have a network. He didn't have a network, man. He didn't even have a network really of like a situation like this. He could have called somebody a long time ago. So he ended up reaching out through a couple of people just to get to me. So he didn't have a network, guys. Relationships are huge. But he calls this person and he ends up getting it under contract because this person was in distress. He found out they needed to sell the house because they said yes so quick. He told me this is what he told me out of his mouth. He's like, man, they said yes so quick. I was like, oh, this is gonna be an easy $15,000, $20,000. And I just couldn't help but laugh, man. Hey, because that's what I was like. I'm not laughing at you. No, I'm laughing with you because my first deal was the same way, you know. And man, he thought it was gonna, you know, he thought it was gonna be easy, and then those twists and turns started. Those twists and turns started, and found out there was a lien on the property. Right, there was a lien on the property, and those liens, guys, you got to have this knowledge. That goes into your exit strategies and your acquisition too, right? When you go,
It does. Yeah.
when you dig deeper, yeah, because you can negotiate them liens. Some, depending on your exit strategy, man, you can quit claim with some liens on there. I mean, I get real creative now. I get real creative. But man, so the guy, what he was trying to do though, this is his thing. It was COVID. It was COVID. He had got laid off from his job, or like, I don't know if it was laid off, but something with his job. So he was almost with his back against the wall, right? So he's in a position where he had to do something, get into real estate. And he was like, man, you know, I had always been into music, but in an entrepreneurial way. So he was an entrepreneur, just like a lot of us. And then COVID, man, put you in that wall, put your back against that wall where you don't have an income. You got to go out there and sink or swim. So he's like, man, I dove into this, you know, full tilt, and got the deal under contract, thought it was going to be sweet, lined everything up, boom, tax lien on the thing. And the lien was like 80,000, government lien. So now he's, and time's moving. He talked to the seller, and the seller's got a mortgage on it. I mean, there were so many things that kept popping up, Johnny, landmines everywhere. You said the owner, you know more about the owner, the actual owner. What did he have going on with the property?
Yeah, so when we talked and we got the owner on three-way, because I was like, hey, we're gonna do this, you know, because he's like, well, why am I gonna do this? Why you need this information? Why you need the insurance company? Why you need the mortgage? We're like, well, hey, we need the last mortgage statement. We need to know all this information. So we got on the phone with him, and you know, really good guy, genuine guy. You know, he was talking, but he was going on his challenge or his pain point with this situation. He was in a bad partnership. He had been fronting the mortgage for the last year by himself. The partner kind of was done with the deal, and just so here recently, the IRS lien was taken care of, and so now they had the clearance to go ahead and move forward to sell. So when I tell you this dude was so happy, and he was like, "You can buy it outright, or you can take over the mortgage. I really don't care." He's like, "But something's about to happen, and if y'all want to do it, y'all can do it." And it was really cool because the guy said that, you know, he had got an offer for a little bit more than that, and he was like, if you guys can't take the deal, it's fine. I got other people. But since the guy had been loyal, had been working with them for the whole year, he was like, I'm gonna give you first on right of refusal to not take the deal down since we get in position to clear. And so that's why the guy was scrambling, wanted to take care of him. And you know, and that's what we kind of stepped in to kind of help him out.
Yeah. So man, so first off, that rapport that he built, man, you know, some people do have integrity like that still out there. So we do want to build these relationships. But I want to ask you, so when he was like, man, what do you need the last mortgage statement for? And did you tell him you needed the limited power of attorney and the information release?
Yep.
Yeah. So that
we told him all that. And the biggest thing was he was under the mindset that was coming in with a cash offer, even though he had gave him the option. And so that he could come in, you could buy it, all right, or he was fine with just taking over the mortgage. And so he's like, oh, okay, so we're gonna go that route. And he was fine. He's like, yeah. He was like, so they signed the next day.
That was the seller, though. That wasn't the wholesaler. That was actually the owner.
The owner. Owner. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he got clarity on that, and he was fine with the strategy. And I think that's where he's a little bit more seasoned, and so, you know, as an investor, and so he was just, hey, y'all can do it. I'm fine with it. Hey, as long as you're making the payments, and guess what? I need you to make the first payment this past Friday. And I was like, hey, let's sign the documents. We get the documents signed, Mr. Seller. We'll make that first mortgage payment now. Yeah. We'll do the deal. And it worked out. He got met in person with the wholesaler, signed it all. And you know, and got everything set up on this past Friday.
Yeah. So that's crazy how that worked out, man. So this is how it worked out. And got this deal, guys, no credit checks, and just for one mortgage payment. And on that house is, you know, around $1,000, right, Johnny?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you got a house for $1,000, guys. Just got a house for $1,000, guys. And it was, I mean, I'm going to say that again. You just got a house for $1,000.
Yeah, and Gene, you know what? Actually, it was two houses, remember?
Oh,
yeah.
Right. I forgot. Because there's another house on the plot of land.
Yeah, 1 bedroom, 1 bath. That's about 650, 700 square feet.
Yeah, that's crazy. So that's two houses for $1,000. That's $500 each. No credit checks, right? didn't fill out any applications for a bank or have to qualify for that debt, y'all. Right there. This is why we be telling you guys, you can invest with no money, no credit checks. You just have to have these different strategies and relationships. And guys, we're going to answer some questions for you live tonight too, if you have questions. Again, my name is Gene Boykin, founder of the GoGetter family. This is Johnny Lynum from Operation Invest. And guys, don't forget to hit that like button. And if you think we're providing value, go ahead and subscribe. So got these 2 houses for $1,000, no credit checks, no applications, because just went in there and solved a problem. Now, how this worked out was like this, though. The guy, he talks to another real estate broker that he knows in St. Louis, and that broker knew me. So he says, well, I'm going to hook you up with my guy, Gene. He's Mr. Subject 2. You know, coined me Mr. Subject 2. I'm like, man, he's funny. But so he's like, I'm going to hook you up with him. And I know, he can probably get something done for you at this point, because it is a year later, guys. And he thought it was going to be an easy deal. So he calls me, and I'm asking him questions. We have to ask probing questions. I'm going to step outside of the 3 and tell y'all, you got to ask probing questions. Who, what, where, when, why, and how. You ask those questions, you can find out anything. And if you ask them in a particular way, it won't seem invasive either, right? We do it conversationally. So I'm asking him these questions, and I'm like, man, I'm going to practice a little bit. I want to see where this guy at, see how seasoned he is versus me, So it didn't go his way. We'll just say that. But because I remember, Johnny, I sent you that text. I said, anyway. So I'm asking him these questions, finding out what's going on. And I'm like, you know what? We're in a situation, because he's telling me about the business partner. He's telling me about the mortgage that he's been paying, and having to pay for a year now, and took it on himself because of the business partner. So I'm like, man, this guy will be happy to let us take over the debt. And he says, well, yeah, I kind of already talked to him about that. And he's willing to let it go just for what's owed on the house. And what was owed on the house was that it's at about 50% of the market value, the after repair value, 50%. And that's just the debt. Again, $1,000 for 2 houses. It was too far away for me and a lot of work. I don't do fix and flips. So I knew who to call. That's why I was like, man, I would take it, but so anyway, so I find all that stuff out. I'm like, you know what? This is the joy of having a network, right? I've got the GoGetter family. Johnny has Operation Invest. He has people that he works with, mastermind groups that he's in. He also has students that he teaches to do this successfully. And it's the same thing for me, man. People that I know, network, and then our students. And our students are actually part of that. They are part of that network, right? And they got access to it. So I said, you know what? I'm going to call Johnny, because I know that Johnny does virtual fix and flips. He's a master at it. So I call him and I tell him out the gate, I'm like, Johnny, hey, I think we got a good subject too, but it's in St. Louis. Do you operate in St. Louis? Johnny, man, tell him what you said, man.
Man, I operate everywhere.
Ooh. Yes, that's what I'm like, man. Hey, so I'm like, then he's like, yeah, I got a property manager in St. Louis. I said, well, Johnny, this is a perfect subject too. And he says, well, I'm going to look it up on PropStream. I said, Johnny, I'm on PropStream right now. Oh, so y'all, we use PropStream, man. PropStream is a godsend. And they give you a 7-day free trial, and you can get 10,000 leads a month. So in that 7 days, that was my plan when I first got PropStream. I'm going to get on there for 7 days, and I'm going to get 10,000 leads. So I got these leads. But the other research and stuff you could do, I was like, I got to keep PropStream. I got to keep it. So guys, I'm going to put a link in the description for you. So you just click that link, the GoGetter family link, man, you'll get them that 7-day free trial. You can thank me later for that. So Johnny gets on PropStream. He's like, okay, I see the value, looks good. This, that, he's saying his numbers. Told me he's going to call me back in 10 minutes. Boom. They have been working on this for a year. They've been working on it for a year, and they were at their wits' end. They were at that point of failure. Both of them, guys. Now, see, now we got to stop and listen and watch this video, man, in this interview, because 95% of real estate investors fail. Me and Johnny are sitting here telling y'all how he just got 2 houses for $1,000, $500 each, no credit checks, nothing like that. I'm sitting here telling you how these guys were both at that point of failure, right at that edge, and got in touch with me. And 1 week later, now that wholesaler's making some money, and that guy who, the original seller who was paying that mortgage, now he's relieved, problem over with. And that was in less than a week. This is what we can do, but that's what having a network can do. You know, that's what having a network can do. So, Johnny, that's what I wanted to kind of talk to you a little about was one, I knew to call you because I knew you had to have a network, and I know that you do that virtual, you know. So what I want to talk to you about is how this guy could have benefited, I guess, from knowing you, from being in your network. Talk to me about that, man.
Yeah, most definitely, man. I think, the benefit for him was really just being able to tap into my network. Whereas that, one of my mastermind groups, I had a guy that does property management in St. Louis. So I called him up and I was like, hey, I need you to walk this house. What do you think about this area? He's like, no, that's a solid area. It's right on the other side of the river. You're close to Home Depot, close to the interstate. So I think you're good area. The rents might be a little bit less just because of where you are in relation to the river on the other side. But I think it's solid, quiet area, not a lot of crime. So I was like, how soon can you walk it? So he walked it Wednesday. He sent me the video, gave me the repairs. We were probably about $15,000 to $20,000 above the estimate that I had got from the wholesaler on the renovation, but it was still a deal. And so I was like, hey, I let him know, and I felt bad because my man was sweating. He was texting me. I'm like, hey, I'll let you know. He's gonna send me the videos. I didn't get the videos at 7:00 Wednesday night. I was like, so I'll watch the videos. I'll let you know, and can we get it done? And I was like, hey, we can get it done. Hey, here's the paperwork. Let's get it filled out and signed and get the signature, and we can get it paid by Friday for the guy. And so that's how we went through the process. But being able to tap into that mastermind, and then just other people. Whereas if I wanted to, I had other flippers in St. Louis that I knew from another group that I'm in that wanted the deal. I'm like, hey, what you think about this area? He's like, man, what you gonna do with it? I want it. I'm like, no, man, I'm keeping this as a rental property. We good.
Slow down.
Calm down. But that's how it goes. But really, that network, man, and just to be able to step in, and then we're gonna work the deal out, and and I can leverage him. He's gonna benefit from it, for really just being able to be boots on the ground. He wants to this is his first deal. I'm like, hey, bro, I'm not even in St. Louis, but guess what? As they're going through the contract, you can be my eyes and ears. You can learn the flipping process, the renovation piece. You can go in and see what these guys are doing to the process and everything. And then we're gonna work out. We still came up with the number I'm gonna give him on the back end when we do the cash out refinance. But it's gonna be really good for him for just the knowledge that he's gonna be able to attain to be able to just go and see the deal go full circle, and then figuring out what we're gonna do for us on the cash side, on the back side for his acquisition fee.
Okay, so you're giving him on the back end. He's getting that assignment, or however you want to label that.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to stop there real quick though, because what he just did was this, right? That wholesaler. One, he established a couple new connections, right? He knows me. He knows Johnny now, right? And he can call him. I mean, he can call, text us. He got a deal, whatever. He can get in contact with us. Secondly, he's like, he wanted to get this deal done because he was at his wit's end with it, and it was about to fail. And being where it was, he didn't get an assignment fee on the front end, but he used his brain. Because it costs some money, man, to be in my group coaching or my one-on-one mentorship. And Johnny has a course and things like that too, and it costs some money. But this guy brought a deal, and now he's leveraging that deal to learn hands-on too, with the man, hands-on, man, step by step, and to be his ears and eyes and boots on the ground. That's a great trade-off. And then he's going to get paid on the back end too. So you guys can do that too. If you have a deal, get a deal under contract. That's why I said those 3 ways of getting started and being successful. Use those 3 things, and then you can leverage that like this wholesaler just did. Yeah. I mean, man. So Johnny, Johnny's my guy now, but I ain't really have to wrestle with him. I ain't gonna put Johnny out there. I ain't have to wrestle with Johnny. Johnny actually, he has a course, right, that he teaches. He has a course that he teaches, and I was like, Johnny, I want your course to be available for the GoGetter family because of what he just did on this deal when I called him, because I was going to take the deal, but then I saw all the repairs and stuff that needed to be done, and I was just like, that's not for me. I don't do fix and flips, and I know a couple people in St. Louis, but not that thoroughly. So I was like, this isn't for me. But Johnny was my first call. He got this done. So I was like, man, I got to have Johnny. I got to get Johnny on the show, man, to talk about this, Johnny. So talk to us, man, a little bit about your course that you provide. It's on the ticker there, man.
Yeah, most definitely, man. So kind of just going through, and as I built my business of the last 6 years and just doing the fix and flips, you know, keeping some as rentals as we did the Burr and buying apartments and everything. And just the strategy that I've used personally, man, I essentially just put my flipping business in a box. And, you know, in an 8-week course where it's just teaching from the mindset to shift the mindset, get rid of the limited beliefs, you know, focusing in on the law of attraction, and then really just going in guerrilla style into the marketing, how to drive the deal flow, you know, from there, understanding where people are at, whether they got a lot of money, whether they don't have a lot of money, or whether they don't have a lot of time, or they do have a lot of time, but just understand, hey, these are the marketing strategies that you need based off your lifestyle and based off your ultimate strategies that you need in order to get to the goals you want. And so just going into the marketing, how to build a team, you know, from your realtor, your attorneys that's doing the title work, your contractors who are the lifeblood to your business, and then just going through on the exit side with working with realtors. Or I teach people how to sell a house using a flat fee listing where they don't need a realtor, how they can negotiate with the buyer's agent themselves one-on-one and save that 3%. You know, so I put all this stuff in the course, man, and just teach the same systems that I do and process. And then at the same time, I bring in my hard money relationships, whereas that if they don't have the money for do the deals, that we'll bring those relationships where we'll actually partner with them 50-50 if they want to, if they need us to sign for the money, or if they just need us to be a consultant, then, you know, we'll do a 20% partnership on the deal just to make sure that they're successful and that they can execute the deal, man. And so that's it. Just put it all in a box over 8 weeks and helping people get their deals where they can actually have their first deal in no less than 90 days if they want to.
Ooh, see, and that's that's why I brought you on, man, because that system that you have now, guys. Johnny has been in the Air Force, you know, for 20 some odd years. You nearly at the retirement portion of it, man. You don't look like you about 29, man. 21, you know? But
they don't work us too hard in the Air Force.
Yeah, you got that administration. See, Johnny is a tactician. Johnny's a tactician, man. So that, you know, his system and his course that's set up, it walks you through that whole process. And guys, just got a house, man, that people couldn't do anything with for a year. They couldn't do anything with for a year. Got it done in less than a week and got it done from 500 miles away. 500 miles away. And these people were in the same city as their house, man. And, you know, the guy drove by it and found it. So Johnny has that system in place and set up where he's teaching, you know, students to be able to do that same thing. And the main things we talked about, right, were finding a deal, the indicators, your acquisition. Now, Johnny did this one subject too, man. I think he's getting more in that subject too because he's been hanging around the GoGetter family. Before that, now he's been a while since so now he's back to I love it. But he's acquiring these properties. He's going to teach you guys how to do that, but also has a hard money lender there. When you guys find a private partner up with you, right? Your joint venture with your students. 8-week course.
Yep.
So, guys, I had to
and the 1 hour weekly Q&A. I jump in live. I jump in live and teach during the week and answer questions as people take the content and implement. We jump on for an hour and a half to actually implement based off wherever they are in the course and what they're trying to do to help them implement it for their specific situation with what they're trying to do.
So you got the steps. You got the steps that you're teaching them. That's, you know, your course, the course itself, and they can learn that. But then each week, you got that hour and a half Q&A for them.
Yep.
Guys, from a pro, from a veteran that's got results. Now, just got a house for $1,000. $1,000, y'all. So you got a house for $1,000. Just think of what you guys can do with that. You got a house under contract and about to have a title to it because this is a subject too. You're gonna have the deed to it for $1,000. So now you got 1 million options. You got 1 million. You're in control. Like he said, he called a couple people in St. Louis that he knows in the mastermind group. First thing they said, they was like, "Man, I don't know what you need for that. I want to." They want to buy it.
Because Gene, after we do the renovations, we're gonna have about 50 or 60,000 in equity.
After renovations.
After renovation, and we're gonna probably have about $500-600 in cash flow each month.
You can't beat that. And really, okay, so at the end of this, even throughout it, how much of your own money are you gonna have to put in?
Probably about 45,000 for the renovation.
Where are you gonna get that money from?
Yeah, so I may do it myself, or I may just raise the money. You know, just private investors, just bring in private investors, pay them a 10% return on the money, and just do that, and then we'll refinance it into a long-term debt in the company name, and just keep it as a rental property.
get that money back out, See, guys, Johnny's at a point where he can put that 40, 50,000 up now and get that fixed, put it up for a few months, but he's got that experience too. So it's not as big of a gamble with the contractors and, finding things that, that he didn't put into the construction cost, so that experience, man, that experience. So Johnny has this course. The course is 1997. It's 1997, but you know me now. I'm a go-getter, man. I like, I'm like, hey, I got to provide for the family. I got to provide for the go-getter family. So Johnny is going to give us, the go-getter family, a $200 discount on that. So the course is 1997, but if you use this this discount code, the word go-getter, 1797. 1797 for the 8-week course, and they're going to have a property in 90 days.
Yeah.
90 days. You just got to follow the process, y'all.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah. No, I said that's it. That's it. Yeah. Follow the process and take action.
That's why I brought Johnny on, because people like my wholesale and hold method, but then there's other people out here that want to go the route that Johnny's going, hard money, using that BRRRR strategy, even he does subject to here and there, so I want to bring you guys different options. So make sure you use this discount code, and the link you want to click to get to this course and get this discount is going to be in the description. So it's already in the description actually, but I'm gonna put that PropStream link in there as well. So guys, we're gonna answer some questions for you, and put where you're from up there when you ask a question, please. We got Denton. Hello from Michigan. A from New Jersey. Gain, how you say that? Gone, Gain Battle. All right, go. TB, hey TB, what's up? So, do you have a class? Oh, right there. We just talked about it. Now, Johnny has his course. Get that discount using that code word go-getter. I've got my buying free foreclosures, but that buying free foreclosures, guys, that's it. It's only $97. So it's one strategy of acquisition. It's one strategy of acquisition, and it's one way to find these properties. So that's why it's $97. It's only one. And I just told y'all now, I did. You want to have more than one strategy, like you just do. So you're gonna get a whole lot of them with Johnny's course, man. That 8-week course. So it's less finding a property and crafting an exit strategy around it, and more about looking for right indicators for your preferred exit strategy. Johnny, I'll let you take that one first.
Yeah, so I'll say it's more about finding the property, because guess what? You got to have that deal. You got to be able to have the deal in order to. He who has the deal is king, because if you don't have a property to fix, then you're dead on arrival. You're DOA. You got to have the deal. So you got to have the deal. It's almost like the cart before the horse, because you got to have the deal. But to have the deal and to have the right deal, you got to know the indicators on where to look. You got to know what exit strategy you need to use based off what you're learning from the seller and where the numbers are lining up at. And then it all goes together. You can't have one without the other. I look at it as a 3-legged stool. Whereas that if you're out of balance, if one leg is shorter than the other or one leg is cut off, it's not going to work. And so you got to keen in on all 3 of those pillars in order to be successful. Whereas that you can't have a detriment in one area and overcompensating in one side that is still not going to work. So I encourage you guys to kind of focus in on finding the properties, but at the same time, looking at the exit strategies and how you can come through and solve those problems, and then figure out what works best for your situation, and just take action based off that, and just go and go get it at that point.
That's it. So I'm going to dive into that a little bit. So we gave you guys those 3 pillars, and in my opinion, it was from most important to the least on that deal. They're all important, but just on that list. So number 1, because like Johnny says, like putting the cart before the horse. If you worried about your exit strategy, and I believe, in my opinion, finding a buyer and all this stuff, and you don't even got a property, man, don't send me no email now. Don't call me. Yeah, man, I'll be having people talking about they're gonna have a property. I just spent 3 seconds of my life opening this email. You know what I mean? So don't put the cart before the horse. So when we know the indicators, see, this is why I don't do any gimmicky stuff. I don't buy 1,000 leads and then sit there and cold call and ask people if they're still interested in selling. I absolutely don't do that. So I like to learn the essence and the soul of something, and it allows my mind to then be more creative when I'm in the trenches. But if we want to win a war, you got to win a little battle, each little battle, man. You don't try to win the whole war in that one little battle. So when we know the indicators of a good deal, we're on to it, man. We're on to something. I know that a divorce list is gonna have a great deal in there, because the divorce list, they had 2 incomes in one household paying those bills. Now they only have 1 income. Now they only have 1 income in this household, but the bills are still the same. So that is a great indicator. So I know I want to, a probate, inherited property. You got to think creatively now. Inherited property. I have my bills. What would I do if I got divorced? What would I do if I inherited a property, right? You got to think, what would I do in these situations? So if I inherited a property that had debt on it or needed to be repaired, at a certain point, I'm like, man, I can't afford to do that. So these people probably can't afford to do it. Great indicator. So let me go look at these. See, this is where it starts. And then you move to the next 2. Then you move to you find it, then you got to acquire it. You acquire it, then you got to get rid of it. 1, 2, 3. That's it. 1, 2, 3. Thanks, TB. Thanks, Denton, man, for the question. Appreciate it. TB, how did his IRX tax lien get cleared? Working on a property now that she's working on a property now that has one, and TB is in in Virginia.
Okay.
Johnny, do you know on that?
I don't know how exactly it got cleared. I just know it just got cleared, and they've been talking and working this deal for almost a year, a little over a year now.
Yeah. And I don't know how it got cleared either. It was and it was around, I think he said around in like the 80,000 range.
Yeah.
Because
it was up there. So I don't know how him and his partner got that resolved. And that's the thing. He was in a partnership with all of that. So I don't know if it came from the other partner and something going on with him and it clouded the title with it or what. But I'll tell you, working through that, those are tough. It's tough to get those wiped out without somebody paying. Somebody's going to have to pay the piper with that. With Uncle Sam with that. So, but you got to work through and see if there's equity. If there's equity, you may have to find an investor that can come in and actually pay the lien off at closing or something, and get creative where you can take the title if it has enough equity in that situation where you can bring in enough money to pay off the lien. And if it's still a viable deal, then that may be a solution. Right.
And see, to me on that now, on a subject to or creative finance, a wholesale and hold, right? It's got this lien on it. So we can handle the lien. And I'm a man, top tier negotiator. So I'll negotiate with Uncle Sam too. They'll take payments as long as you're making them.
Yep.
As long as you're making them payments, you better stand up to your end of the bargain now, or they gonna come get it now. But so you can get it just by taking care of that lien. And I say taking care of it, like the last house I just got, guys. The last house I just got, it was going to sheriff's auction. It was just got taken off the sheriff's auction website last week. It was still on there. I've been on it. They just took it off. So it was on the sheriff's auction website. It's supposed to go up for auction November 16th. Well, my seller is like, man, he just wanted me to take care, stop the foreclosure. So I said, don't trip. I'm going to take care of this foreclosure. I'm going to take care of this for you. It will not go on your credit history. And I'm going to make it so they stop reporting to the credit bureaus negatively on your credit. Right. And then it shows on public record too that I bought this house for $5,000, man. And I haven't even paid the $5,000 yet. But I took care of the foreclosure. I didn't pay nothing, but I took care of it. You know what I mean? I took care of it, so I solved this problem. I haven't paid a dime for that house. I just took it off of Craigslist and some other spots today because I decided, Johnny, you might be proud of me, that I'm gonna fix that thing up.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna fix it up, man. Because I want to hit somebody in the head for the price. They keep playing with me trying to negotiate. You know what? I'm gonna fix it up and I'm gonna charge y'all some money now. That's what I'm gonna go ahead and do. So nice. Yeah, I took it off Craigslist, but I took care of it. I took care of the problem because with this one, he didn't live there. Okay. It got taken over by some family members. All right. So he didn't, when it went into foreclosure, they weren't paying it. He didn't care to try to keep it longer. He didn't call a bank or a lender like, hey, I can't pay. Is there anything you can do? No, he didn't do none of that. So it just went through the process without anybody touching base with the lender. So now I still got all the options that he could have took. Forbearance. I'm gonna modify that thing after 18 months of forbearance. I mean, there's a million things you can do.
Nice.
Yeah, a million things. So Johnny, I ain't paid no mortgage payment or nothing on it. Nothing. Yeah, it's great. So Guys, this is where knowing that knowledge comes in of our acquisition. I gave y'all the foreclosure, buying free foreclosures for free. And this is what I just did with one. Gave y'all the game in there too. So that's how we're getting down, man. Good evening, gentlemen. Zuli Day. Hey, how you doing? Thanks for stopping in too. Thanks for stopping in. So guys, you got any more questions on here? Let me see. I don't think we got any more questions this evening. I tapped in from New Jersey. Yeah, that's it for tonight. All right, y'all. So, guys, Johnny's coming through with this course. And Johnny's got a book too. Check out Johnny's book, man. What's the title of your book again, Johnny?
Yeah, Millionaire Real Estate Success Strategies. What they forgot to teach you in school. It's out on Amazon right now. I think I'm gonna leave it for 99 cents for probably another week or two. We did that across the holidays just for as many people as possible. No excuse to not buy the book, to be blessed from it, and just to get started in real estate.
Yeah, that's what I did with that Brian free foreclosures, man, was put it at a 75% discount for over the holidays so people can, man, I don't want no excuses, y'all. No excuses. Let's get to it. You know what I mean? And that's why on this course, $17.97, man, $17.97 with this discount. It's $19.97. Use the discount code GoGetter and it'll get you $17.97 for, you're going to be held accountable. You're going to be taught how to find these. You're going to be taught how to underwrite these. Underwriting is the traditional method of when you got to get that money. You got to, hard money, the bank, whatever it is. You're going to get all that. Then, to me, the most valuable, because I paid the $19.97 just for this, me personally. I can now, which makes it a little easier, but I would pay the $19.97 just for this, to be in the community. To be in the community. That's it. Guys, I called Johnny on a deal. I'm in Iowa. He's in Northern Virginia. The deal's in St. Louis. I called Johnny. He was the first person I called. And guess what? Deal's on the contract. Dude's happy. The seller's happy. The wholesaler's happy. Everybody's good. So I'd pay it just to be in that community, man. Talk about just real quick, Johnny, the community that you do have set up and set up with that course, how that's going to work.
Yeah, so we got our private Facebook group, kind of the main mechanism that we use to communicate. But now you have accountability. That's the biggest thing that I think people lack when they take these courses, is now you have accountability. You have potential partnerships, and everybody has the same lexicon. We have the same language, the same training, going through the course. And now you may have somebody that has a lot of time that's wholesaling, bringing deals to the group, to somebody that may be working that don't have time to go find deals themselves. But now you have that ecosystem that we're creating of like-minded people that are coming together, and then just for us bringing in, supporting one another and doing deals. And, it's just the thing where now people can grow, they have accountability. And that's the thing, because you all know that when you start talking that real estate talk around people, they start looking at you sideways. They don't know what you're talking about. Right. They're imposing their limited beliefs on you. You can't do that. You won't be successful and all that stuff. But to have a group of people around you that's holding you accountable, that's cheering for you, that wants you to be successful and help you accomplish your goals, it's like it's none other. And so I think that's the biggest thing for people, man. Looks like we got a couple questions just popped in.
Yeah, I see. We got somebody here. She says, found you on TikTok. Do you use investors? So if you're asking if I use like private money investors, I do use private money investors myself. I stay away from it a little bit. I do personally, just because I don't do fix and flips. And then I take over debt on properties. So I like to buy and hold them things myself because it doesn't cost that much. So I'll buy them and hold them myself. But I'm always open to using private money because private money lenders, that private money is different than a hard money lender now. The hard money is one thing. A bank is another thing. Private money is a citizen, just like you, me, Johnny. It's a private citizen who has a little bit of money or even a lot of bit of money, but it's parked in a savings account or even IRAs, things of that nature is not getting much interest, much return. We give them a way better return. What about you, Johnny?
Oh, yeah, 100%. No, we use private investors, and you said you hit all the top keys, that it gives you more flexibility, and it's just private citizen, people that have lazy money in their 401k, that's not getting a large return, or savings account CDs, and they come in and they get anywhere from a 7 to 10% return on their money when the bank would give them 0.25% for the whole year. And so I think, yeah, so definitely, as I think with our both of us, we leverage private money where possible and just kind of integrating into the business plan. And you're helping investors they're getting a higher return on their money, and it's
Right.
backed by real estate. And so, yeah, that's something that we definitely do.
And I can say that's true passive income for them, because they don't have to do nothing. They're putting some money up and then they're getting a return on it. And it just depends on how you structure getting that paid back. So Kim's Place Designs. Kim, thank you for asking that question. And then also remember, Kim, for future reference, put where you're from. We want to know where you're from. Also, Kim, I wanted to say this. I'm going to leave my social media links in the description. I'm going to put them in there after the show. So you can DM me and we can chat a little bit deeper into that private money situation, or if you're looking to invest, just we'll figure it out. But you can DM me. Denton, can you talk more about forbearance and ways to extend the foreclosure before you go? Denton, man, you got my foreclosure course, all that game in there. No, I done gave you the game of that thing. But Johnny, do you work with those much?
With the forbearance?
Yeah, with foreclosures, like, do you know?
With foreclosures, yes. But forbearance, I have not. I've bought multiple foreclosures from the state, not from the state, but from the city, but then from like Hubzu. I don't even know if Hubzu's still around at auction.com. So with the auction websites online, we're buying foreclosures. And and so it's a great opportunity where is that you can get the deals. But I like to see and the same thing that you do, whereas we go pull that list from the county and what's coming up on the foreclosure list, and we try to get those before they even come to the auction, to work with the homeowner, get it under contract, get the deal worked out, get the loan reinstated or whatever, or closed before it goes to auction, and take down the deal that way.
Yeah, that's the key on that. So I also want to say this. So I'll get deeper into a forbearance. A forbearance is, there are certain things when a person's in foreclosure that under federal law, a bank or a lender has to give them these options, right? But just like the law, just like civil law, criminal law, you can't use in court, you can't use as a defense ignorance of the law, right? That's not a defense. Not, hey, I didn't know that was a law. Well, so what? We're still going to throw the book at you, right? So it's the same thing with these forbearances too. They don't be going out telling you all your options. The lender ain't just going to tell you like, hey, you don't have to pay me. So you've got to know these things and ask about them, right? Because a closed mouth doesn't get fed. So a forbearance, right? A forbearance, what that does is it pauses the mortgage. It pauses it. And if there were back payments that were owed, they were behind, it pauses them. It pauses them back payments too. Man, what? Hey, the house that I got, they hadn't paid that mortgage in 3 years. 3 years since August of 2018. It was $53,000 some odd dollars behind.
Okay.
I ain't paid a penny of it. No, not a penny. But so it pauses that. Now, once that forbearance is over, and you can get a forbearance now for up to 18 months. Up to 18 months. And you got to go through stages on these foreclosures. Now, I'm not about to give y'all all this game now on YouTube. Now, you got to invest in yourself if you want the game now. Yeah, because there's some stuff that we can do. So, well, I love this, man. I do. I love this stuff. Kim, very helpful. Thank you. Riverview, Florida. My son is in Oskaloosa, Iowa. Okay, I'll definitely be in touch via DM. Cool. Thanks again, guys. Yeah, Kim, I'm in Sioux City, Iowa now. Oskaloosa. You know that thing. That thing sounds like Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Right?
Okay, roll tide.
Yeah, we might be cousins, man. So, Kim, down there in Florida too, there's going to be a lot of foreclosures down there. There's going to be a lot of foreclosures down there.
Oh, man. So the thing, Panama City is my market, man. They ain't stop foreclosure. They ain't care about Florida, they don't care down south. Republican states, man. They wasn't hearing none of that, pausing and all that stuff.
Moratorium. No. They would still see that moratorium was on FHAs. If you had a conventional, you were still in the line of fire.
Yeah.
Florida was down there getting people still.
Yeah. And evictions too, man. They weren't playing. Because after 1 year, you transition to month to month, and on that month to month, they can move on you.
Yep, they found that loophole, man. That's the thing, guys. If you want to play this game at a high level, and be successful, you've got to find these little almost idiosyncratic rules that nobody knows about, pretty much. and that they made it so nobody knows about them on purpose. They didn't. Do you think that they bury this stuff in minutia and stuff that don't matter just for no reason by accident? No, it is buried for a reason. So when you unearth it, man, it's like, finding hidden treasure. I found a hidden treasure, man. Now I found a hidden treasure, man. I'm on Treasure Island right now. Yeah, I'm taking baths and gold coins and everything, John.
We'll call you Scrooge.
Yeah. Man, Scrooge, and that's what, but Johnny, with his situation, Johnny started off, like he said, he's been investing for 15 years, been in the you said you've been in the Air Force for about 16 something, right? So been investing for 15. So he's a young man, found a situation, you house hacked your first one, right?
Yep.
Tell them what a house hack is real quick.
Yeah, so you jump in, whereas that you come in and you can rent out one side of the property to bring in extra income, or you can do like I did, whereas that you can actually rent out a room or whatever it may be and come in. And so like with me, I'm always moving and I know I'm gonna be there for a limited amount of time, 3 years, maybe 4 max. And it's gonna have to be a rental property so I can buy a foreclosure. With me, VA benefit, I 100% finance and no money out of pocket. I can buy a foreclosure, put a little work in it, and then I can move out. And now it's a rental. I got a rental property that I didn't have to pay any money for. And so that's how, doing that, repeating that 3-4 times, buying foreclosure here and there. And, the market's going up and the cash flow, and then just start fixing and flipping them. It's like, boom, let's go.
Man, so y'all, please listen to me now. Please listen, y'all. Now, we just told y'all in this 1 hour show, man, hour and 7 minutes, right? How we done got 3 houses just this show now, just here, right here. We have told y'all between us, was that a duplex? Your first one was a duplex?
Yep, one side of it. Yep, one side of it.
4 units. We done told y'all we done got 4 units, y'all, in this show, this 1 hour show, with spending less than $1,000. No, 5 units. I forgot you got 2 houses on that last one you just got. We done just told y'all how we got 5 units, man, on this show in an hour. We're spending less than $1,000, right at about $1,000, y'all. So our limiting beliefs is what holds us back.
Yep.
So on my TikTok, a lot of people find me from TikTok, man, and I try to go through the comments, but I'll go in the comments. Some of them, they'll be like, yeah, well, you can't do that. Ha, ha, ha. This guy's saying this. You can't do that. The hell you can't. That is their limiting beliefs. And I tell them now, I get on there. I don't care, man. I keep it 100. I'll tell you, well, stay on the couch and continue to get 100% of nothing.
There you go.
I don't care. Get 100% of nothing. So please, y'all, set your limiting beliefs aside. Stop saying, no, you can't do that. You can't do it. If somebody is out there doing it, right, and there's multiple people doing it, it can be done. You just have to find out how. So our limiting beliefs are what holds us back in life the most. That's our biggest impediment, Yeah, biggest impediment, man. Denton, yes, this knowledge on knowing your niche and having a specialty. Johnny, how you feel about that specialty, man? Because you got a specialty in the Air Force, don't you?
Yeah, that's it. Hey, the riches are in the niches. When you dig in and get great at something, man, you can do a lot of damage because you're spending that time to gain that expertise and that knowledge. And so the more that you do it, you're gonna get better and better, and you're laser focused, and you're not gonna be distracted by other things going on. And man, you can, that's anything. If you get clarity and a clear focus on what it is that you're doing, and you're dug in, there's nothing that can stop you but yourself.
Man, that's it, y'all. And who wants to stop trying to be a jack of all trades? Stop trying to be a jack of all trades. This is why I know so much about foreclosures, because I was trying to get foreclosures and buying them when I was just doing traditional fix and flips, because I knew they were motivated. They had a motivation. But then when I found out how to take over that debt, I'm like, man, in my opinion, foreclosures have the most motivation. So I'm going to find out everything. I know how to extend people's foreclosures that don't want to move. Because I don't go in there and if they don't want to move, they just need more time, something happened. I'm not going to go in there and put the press on them to sell their house. If they don't want to sell that house, I will ask these people what they've done. And if there's still options, I'll let them know of these options and direct them, right? The house I just got with the forbearance and ain't paid nothing, he didn't live there. That house had been taken over from him, him. He was happy I got the people up out of there. And I taught a couple lessons on the way. So yeah, I don't want y'all to think that we don't do that too, but get that knowledge, get that specialized knowledge, and it'll make you more of an asset. Okay, Kim down there in Iowa, down there in Florida from Iowa, love it. I love it. I feel like I have a passion for marketing, so combining that with real estate seems like it could work well with these methods. Marketing, you get them to come to you, you can't beat that. Yeah, Johnny, we had talked about a couple of weeks ago or so. You had a house you was getting down in Atlanta that was in pre-foreclosure. Remember?
So down in Lynn Haven. Yep. So we close next week.
Okay.
So we're gonna do a bird on that one, bro. And I'm gonna refinance and get about $40K back from the bank, tax free.
In your pocket.
We're buying it at a discount. We're buying it at 115, and the ARVs on it is gonna be about 270. And so we're gonna get a loan around a little bit over 200. Yeah, and we ain't got to put in about 25 to 30,000, make it rent ready.
So you're saying you're getting roughly 40,000 in your pocket after you don't got the money out of what you put in on that refi.
Yep.
Man.
And leaving about 50 in it in equity, and gonna be cash flowing about $400 or $500 a month.
Wow. Right there. There. And if you can leverage that equity. I'm not a big guy on equity. I like cash flow, but you can leverage that equity. See, that's the thing. Now, I just said I'm not a big guy on it now, but I will use it. Yep. Right? We all got to, just like Johnny's not big on the subject too, but he just used it.
Oh yeah.
We got to keep our options open. Keep those options open. And Johnny, those warm leads on Denton, that's a good skill set to have, man. That's a good skill set to have. What are your thoughts on being licensed as an investor? Johnny, you want to take that one first?
I'm assuming he's talking about being a licensed real estate agent. Yeah. So it depends on you. You can make it a pro or a con. It just depends on what you're looking to do and what you're doing right now. If if you're gonna do it part-time, then maybe you don't have to do it. But if you're gonna be a realtor full-time, then you can make it work. But I think the biggest thing is just knowing that, the commitments you got to do, the continuous learning once a year, take courses and all that to maintain your license. And, you got to identify yourself as a licensed realtor when you're talking to homeowners to get things under contract. And it's just, it's not necessarily a detriment, but, it's just something you got to go through. So, but you're getting access to the MLS, you're getting access to deals, you can network with other realtors, your broker, you got access to deal flow that's coming in. And now you can craft more solutions for for the potential sellers that you're talking to. So you can do it, but it's not necessary. I'm not a licensed realtor, and
So my thoughts on that are this, right? If you're a realtor already, absolutely, man, become an investor. Because like Johnny said, you got that access to the MLS, and you're already in a network of people. So people, sellers, buyers, people that know sellers. Right? That got pocket listings. I mean, all types of stuff. So you got to use that to your advantage. As far as that disclosure, to me, the disclosure is a benefit. If you're already a realtor, it is a benefit. Yeah, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I'm also a licensed realtor. So, I know all of the ins and outs of that side of the business. And then I'm an investor as well. So we can get you that maximum of what you're trying to get. But we can most definitely, without a question, solve your problem. From either direction. Doesn't even matter. Hell, I tell them like that too. It don't even matter. What you gonna do? No, I'm not gonna talk to them like that, but it doesn't, right? It doesn't. So if you're already a realtor. Now, but I want to say this on the flip side of that though. If you are not a realtor and you are becoming an investor, my advice, don't get that license. Don't, because you don't need it. You don't need it. So realtor, if you're an existing realtor, that when you first become a realtor, it's not easy. And you got to drum up that work. You got to pay for that marketing. You're working under a broker. I mean, there's a lot to it. You don't just become a realtor and you get to put on a nice shirt and a tie and then everything happens. No, you got to put that work in. So if you're not a realtor and you're already an investor, I would recommend that you don't do that. Just work on your investing thing, man. If you think that you need to get that to supplement the investing, you don't. That's my opinion on that.
Yeah. And I'll say too, you're an investor, like my acquisition manager in my business, she's a realtor. And so, like you just said, she goes in, she's representing me, but she has that instant report, like, oh, she's a realtor, cool. She's got that integrity and all that, and now she's representing my company. And so, if we can't work a deal out for me, and she can get a listing, I get paid 25% of her commission.
Do you really?
Because I'm bringing her, I give her the leads.
Lead, yep. That's nice. That's cool. See, that's you killing all types of birds with one stone right there. And you know, like he said, she's going in as a realtor, so you can fix that problem. You can fix that problem, and that's what it's all about, is being able to fix that problem, you know. So guys, the discount code for Johnny's course, is 8-week course, is GoGetter, millionaire real estate investor success course. You get linked in, man, with that group, y'all, with that. And then now Johnny messes with the GoGetter family too. So you lightweight, you know, you get that course, now you messing with the GoGetter family just off GP. So, boss, you being a real estate wholesaler, has there been a deal where you were in debt at the end? I have not. I don't wholesale too often. I don't like to wholesale. I like to wholesale and hold, which is different. That's a method that the GoGetter family came up with. We're taking over that debt, but we get paid 3 times. I have never been in the hole at the end, because this is a mistake that people make, Brian. And thanks for the question. Please put where you're from too. So at the people on their first deal, they'll overoffer. It will overoffer, and that's how that happens. So don't be so thirsty to get a deal that you're just like, hey, you know, okay, I'll sign it, you know, let's do it. You know, what do you say? Has that happened to you, Johnny, or have you heard of that?
Oh, I've seen it happen with wholesalers. The deals that I've wholesaled some that were like in the wrong side of town that I didn't want to fool with and things like that. But no, I never ended up upside down, because, you know, you got to know your numbers up front and what you can get it under contract for to be successful. So I think that's the biggest thing, is just doing that due diligence and knowing what you can actually pay the seller, and just being upfront and honest with them. But I tell you, a lot of times, man, I say no more than I say yes. Because some of the sellers, they're unrealistic of what they want to sell these houses for. And that's okay, because you're one deal closer to somebody that you can help.
And I'll tell a seller, man, you want all that money, why don't you just make them couple of repairs and get a realtor? Sell it on the market. You want to get maximum value? I can't help you. They know they ain't finna do that. But also, Brian, I want to say this too. Now, if a wholesaler ends up like that, in debt at the end of a deal, they went into this thing just not knowing nothing, just thinking they can get something under contract and sell it for more money than they got it under contract for. They didn't do the research. They didn't put in the work. They didn't find no mentors. They didn't do none of that. None of that. Because my 18-year-old apprentice, man, just did a wholesale transaction, made $9,000. $9,000. Junior Dominguez, please put where you're from, man. This is the last question too now, y'all. Golly. I'm just playing, y'all. I love y'all. Do we need to make an LLC? So I personally recommend that you do make an LLC, because you don't want to put your personal assets at risk. And with an LLC, they are still at risk. What I do is I buy in trust, and then I make my LLC the beneficiary of that trust. So that's layered up. But you don't have to have an LLC. So Johnny, what you recommend on that?
Yeah, no, kind of the same. You definitely want to have that liability protection by having it in the LLC. And then it opens you up for different options, where it's like if you're using a hard money lender, they require you to have an LLC as well too. Yeah. And then it just it makes it easy. But it's straightforward to build an LLC. It's not really that complicated to kind of get up and running. So
yeah, not hard at all. You can do it yourself. You don't have to pay a lawyer $500,000. It's super easy. You just
find a deal first, though. Don't worry about making an LLC. Find a deal.
Yep. Dude, don't put the cart before the horse now. Find that deal, man. The LLC will get there. That don't take but a second anyway, man. They do everything digitally now too, man. So let's find that deal, man. So guys, we're out of here. I'm gonna put this code up one more time, and it will be in the description, guys. Discount code is GoGetter. The link for the course for Johnny's course is in the description. Also, guys, that's 7 days of PropStream for free. Now, that'll get you them leads. 7 days. The link is in the description on that. All right. Johnny, you got any closing words before we get out of here?
That last question, I was going to tell my man that asked about the renovation costs. Hey, just get a contractor to walk that property with you, and he can help you learn how to estimate costs. But really just, take action, guys, is the biggest thing that I can tell you. We're just coming out. We're still in the pandemic. We made it this far. Get serious about your goals and what it is that you want. Real estate is a great asset class to help you level up and continue to build generational wealth and to continue to build passive income. And only thing that separates you from those that are rich and wealthy and that have been doing this for a long time is just the knowledge. And we're giving you guys all the knowledge and everything that you need to make it. And now all you got to do is just bring the action and just go get it.
Ooh, that's it, man. That's it. That's all you got to do, man. Real estate can change my life, man. And in 8 months now, I'm coming up, I think on 8, man. I went from worth nothing net worth of zero, probably negative, to 780,000. It has changed my entire life. Yeah, man, I own 6 houses, man, and I've done 7 transactions. But I put in work, and I've been in positions where I had zero money left. I told Johnny, man, my account was negative at one time. The big old payment came out, man. So you got to be, able to take those risks, calculate it, man, and just take that action, y'all. Put in that work. Find a mentor. Take that course. That course gonna get you there. So, hey, Johnny, man, I appreciate you, and I appreciate all the viewers. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm gonna put Johnny's Instagram in the description as well. So if you want to get up with Johnny, go to his Instagram and you can hit him up. You can DM him. All right. And don't forget, guys, GoGetter is that code to get you $200 off. Link will be in the description. Johnny, I appreciate you. And till next time, y'all, let's get to it.